Hello and welcome to episode number 7 of the Soggy Kookaburra podcast. This is my little place on the internet where I get to talk about all my knitting and crochet adventures. If you're a first time viewer, welcome aboard the crafty train, and if you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for joining me again. My name's Kathy. I live in a small town in North Wales with my husband, our teenage son and our 2 cats, Pickle and Puka, who you may or may not see roaming around throughout this video. So I have been quite busy, mostly with non-knitting and crochet related things this last month, but I have managed to sort of crack on and get some things started. Oh, by the way, if you want to find me online, I am on Ravelry and on Instagram as Soggy Kookaburra, so be sure to check me out and subscribe if you want to know when I upload videos, usually once a month. Okay, so straight into it. Finished objects. 2 finished objects this month. First up, my commission socks. So as I said to you last episode, I don't usually do commissions, mostly because I don't want to take the joy out of my knitting. But a friend specifically requested these socks, so I cracked on and got it done. So these are fantastic stripy socks. I have done 2, I've just only put 1 on the blocker. So these are, the yarn is West Yorkshire Spinners in the cocktail range, and it's called Rum Paradise, which I think is very appropriate. They're very bright and colourful. I just love them. And the pattern is, it's a basic ribbed sock. I can't even speak this morning. Basic ribbed sock by Kate Atherley Designs, and that's free on Ravelry. So if you want to check that out. Yeah, so these are a size 5 UK women's, and they're quite wide. They're a 72 stitch. So usually I do a 64 for me, and these are a 72. So they're just a little bit wider. Anyway, so yeah, really pleased with those. So now that I have shown them off, they can go off to their new home in Wrexham. I just need to sort out posting them this week. So that's finished object number 1. And I have to say, every time I see the colours, I love this yarn. Good thing I've got lots of it. Okay, so second finished object. Hang on, coffee. I treated myself to putting the coffee machine on this morning, so I've got proper percolated coffee today. Second finished object. Now I only finished these last night, and if you do follow me on Instagram, then you will have seen these already on the foot of the recipient. These are, and you can see they're enormous. Look, they're way bigger than my sock blockers, but you get the general idea. So these are the socks that I was knitting for my son for Christmas. He requested socks and a matching beanie. He is a size 11 UK men's, hence it's too big for my sock blocker. But again, it's the same ribbed sock pattern. I particularly like the ribbing because he's got very, very slender ankles and quite slender legs, but obviously a big foot. So this just gives me that little bit of extra stretch. So he's tried them on, they fit. I have given him strict instructions. He's not allowed to grow anymore between now and Christmas. They fit at the moment, so fingers crossed they will continue to fit. I did make them ever so slightly longer, so they have got a bit of negative ease in them. They've got a bit of stretch. So yeah, and this yarn is West Yorkshire Spinners as well. And this is Blue Lagoon in their cocktail range. So yeah, really quite pleased with how that's coming out. I'm getting better at avoiding the gap here as well. I think I might have cracked that because it was something that I was struggling with a lot, and I think I've worked out how to avoid it now. So I'm quite pleased with that anyway. So yeah, so that's my second finished object. So quite pleased with those. 2 socks in a month, or 2 pairs of socks finished in a month, that's not too shabby. As normal, I have got quite a few works in progress. So some of these you will have seen before, but you can see where I'm up to with them. First up is in my stripy bag, is the Christmas socks that I am knitting for my dear friend Belle. Christmas socks, they're watermelon socks, but I've finished one. I should put it on a blocker. Hang on, I'll pop it on a blocker so you can see it properly. It was interesting actually, when I posted a photo of this one completed sock, my mum said, "Oh, those are the colours of the Christmas bush." And do you know what? She's actually right. In Australia we have this this plant called the Christmas bush, and it has these sort of reddy pink flowers, and yeah. So that's sock number 1 done. I haven't quite cast on the next sock yet because I really wanted to get Sebastian's socks finished first. But I'm quite pleased with how that's come out. So this yarn, let's have a look, I've written it down somewhere. Opal sock yarn, Sunrise 9442. And these are a UK size 7. And just a vanilla sock with a 2x2 rib, 30 rows of 2x2 rib, 64 stitch cast on. Just a normal heel and gusset. And yeah, and a kitten and toe. So yeah, really pleased with that. So I'm going to start this second sock today is the plan anyway, so we'll see. But to be honest, vanilla socks are so quick to knit up, you know, once I get into the groove of it, I don't even have to like watch what I'm doing. Just knit, knit, knit. So yeah, so there, Belle's Christmas bush, Christmas watermelon socks, which hopefully should be done by Christmas. This is not a sock, but it is a Sockhead hat. I'll be honest, I have not done a lot of work with this. Frankly, I am sick to death of this yarn colourway now. This is for Seb. I've literally only done maybe 2 inches of the rib. Though I do have a seasonally appropriate stitch marker. I don't know whether you can see that. It's a little ghosty. I must have bought it around Halloween time. So yeah, that's kind of my go-to mindless knitting now, because I just need to crack on and get that done. Yeah, I'm not massively enthused, to be honest, but it will be worth it because it looked really good once it's done. And I do have a deadline for Christmas. So again, that's West Yorkshire Spinners Blue Lagoon cocktail, signature cocktail range. And the pattern is the Sockhead hat by McClure. Again, another free one on Ravelry. Honestly, anybody who's not on Ravelry, why? Because it's amazing. There are so many amazing patterns that are free or pennies, you know, they're not expensive. And to be honest, I love it because it helps me track where I'm up to and how long different projects take to get completed. So also I have a lot of my stash on there, so it can make my life a little bit more organized so I can see exactly what I've got. Anywho. On to the next one. Now this is a new work in progress. These are some gifts for Christmas. So again, giving myself deadline, Christmas knitting. Gotta love it. So this is very, very cool. Again, it's this basic ribbed sock pattern. Are you sensing a theme? I'm sensing a theme. But how cool is that colorway? So this is wool-free yarn, which I have never ever knit with. It is like silk. It's so smooth to work with. Really, really smooth to work with. I'm hoping that because it is actually designed as sock yarn, that it will breathe. Because my concern with not using wool historically has been that perhaps your feet would get quite sweaty because it doesn't breathe. But this has got, let's have a look what the percentages are. 70% acrylic, 23% bamboo and 7% polyester. So I'm hoping that bamboo, which is obviously what makes it so smooth, will be enough natural fibre to allow it to breathe. So these are a Christmas gift for a friend of mine. I'm not going to mention, though I'm sure she can guess. But yeah, how cool is that? I'll tell you one thing I really love about this yarn is the stitch definition is just, I mean, this is not my fancy knitting at all, but it's just the yarn. The stitch definition is just lovely. Really clear, because you know, there's no halo. A lot of yarns have halo, which is fine, you know, I've no problem with that, but when it doesn't have it, it's really noticeable. So I love these. This yarn was from my dear friend Emma, and she sent over quite a few balls. So I'm looking forward to making myself some as well at some point. I'll put that on the wish list. I've got so much sock yarn, there's absolutely no way I'm going to get it all knitted into socks, but that's okay. It's just I feel rich having it in my stash. So yeah, really, really happy with that though. And I just funky. I'm sorry, I'm just gotta keep showing you because how funky is that colourway? So I better tell you about the yarn. It is Yarn Lane Perfect Pair, and it's in the River colourway. So, or possibly the Glory Days colourway, actually, thinking about it. Yes, Glory Days colourway, so 01005. As always, all the notes and links and stuff for everything that I'm talking about are just in the description bar down below. So if you are interested and you think, oh, I really like that yarn, I want to know what it is, it's all down there. Not massively descriptive, admittedly, but it's got the main details for you. So yeah, so I've literally only just passed the heel on the first sock of that. I'm just enjoying it so much. I don't want to put it down, but like I said, I had to focus on getting the commission socks done and then Seb's socks done. I've got to prioritise, otherwise I'll just have 200 works in progress and never finish anything. And then last but not least for works in progress, or at least works in progress that I have been working on. And again, I'm going to put this on because I've finished one. This is my selfish knitting. I don't do a huge amount of selfish knitting. I get so much enjoyment out of knitting for other people. But these are for me. And again, it's this fantastic West Yorkshire Spinners cocktail range, Rum Paradise. I repeat, I do not have shares in West Yorkshire Spinners, just love the yarn. And it's just got contrast purples, heels and toes, and it's covered in hair and cat fluff, but that's par for the course here. And it's that basic rib sock. But I really like the contrast heel and toe. I think it works quite well. So that's one, I've got one finished and one where am I up to with that one? Oh, dropping stitch markers. Oh yeah, just down to the legs. I'm just about to start the heel turn on those. But yeah, this yarn just makes me so happy. Hang on a tick, I'm gonna find this stitch marker. Otherwise I will lose it forever or the cats will get it. So yeah. And that's living in my quilted project bag, which just makes me happy every time I see it. I just love this project bag that Emma gave me. So there you go. That's my works in progress. I feel like today I'm just rattling through this podcast, so apologies if it feels a bit rushed. I am aware from experience that if my podcast goes over half an hour, it causes some difficulties uploading to YouTube. I don't know why. I am far from technical enough to know why. Basically all I do is record it on my phone, plug it into the computer, and then fiddle about with it until it uploads to YouTube. But I have found that when it runs over 30 minutes, it doesn't like it. Not really sure why. One of these days I will work out how to do fancy video editing and whatnot, but for now you just get the bog standard video. So over here, autumn has well and truly started, which I love. Autumn's actually my favourite season. And just today, in fact, it was like 5 degrees this morning, which was 5 degrees Celsius, which was lovely and crisp and cool. And all the leaves are changing colours. And of course, it means I get to dig out all my winter stuff. So I get to wear, you know, all the stuff that I have been making for the past 12 months. And my shawls and my sweaters and socks, of course, which is wonderful. And boots and jeans. And I just love the change in season. And autumn is really my favourite season. We've got Halloween coming up at the end of the month. We don't really do a great deal for that, but we have a lot of kids locally who do the trick-or-treating in the truly American style. So I will dig out some Halloween decks, stick them out the front, get a whole bunch of sweeties in a bowl, and be prepared to be bombarded by very cute small children in fancy dress for the 31st, which I always think is a bit lovely. Although it's not something that we go out and do, and we never have done with Seb, I like it. I like seeing other kids all dressed up and enjoying it. Anyway, ramble over, onto stash enhancement. Now, considering I am a little bit on a self-imposed ban on buying myself yarn, it hasn't stopped me buying yarn. I have been buying yarn for gifts. So I've got a little basket here with all my my stash acquisitions, and either they were gifts to me or gifts for other people for Christmas. So first up, Aldi yarn. Man, I love Aldi yarn, but I don't knit with it much myself. Anyway, I saw this, it was discounted. It's chenille baby yarn, so it's incredibly soft and squishy. So I bought that for a friend of mine for Christmas, and I'm sure that she will enjoy making something out of it. I wish I did more chunky yarns, but I just enjoy knitting with 4-ply so much. Also socks, all of the socks, that I don't tend to use thicker, bulkier yarns very much at all, although I do have a stash of it. So there's that, that's lovely. I don't actually know, it hasn't got a name, it's just 84770 I think is the colour number. It's So Crafty is the brand, and it's, yeah, 4 100-gram balls. Sorry, losing my voice this morning. Nothing a bit of coffee won't fix. So yeah, so there's enough in there to do something. So there's that. And then I have discovered a new little app, which is very dangerous, which is buying sort of items direct from China. Now, most of it is crap, to be fair. It's cheap crap, but it's crap. But I had a little look on their yarn selection, and there was a couple of things that kind of just jumped out at me, being a little bit different. So I thought I'd give them a go for what was essentially a couple of pounds. I thought I'd try it. So first up, I got 2 skeins of this acrylic yarn. And again, these are gifts. These are not for me to keep, though I am very tempted to buy some more of this because it is lovely. I don't think you can see how pretty the sparkle is in this. It's got gold and like a bluey green sparkle in it to match the bluey green yarn. It is just acrylic, 2 50-gram balls. It's, you know, it's soft, it's totally usable. And as I say, it was just a bit of an experiment really to see what it was like. Yeah, so I quite like it, and a huge range of colours. So it doesn't have any details on what it is. I just know that it's 100% acrylic. I don't think it's got a brand or anything. Like it literally came like that. So you can see there's like no identifying information. Oh, it doesn't help if it's upside down. No identifying information on that at all. But yeah, so I got 100 grams of that. Again, just something a bit different, a bit novel. And then talking of novel, this blew my mind. This yarn is, again, I don't read Chinese, so I don't know what this yarn brand is, but what I can tell you is that it's made of milk fibre. Now, I had never heard of milk fibre yarn before. It's a wool alternative. So this has got 80% acrylic, 20% milk fibre and 15% nylon, which means it's got a nice little bit of stretch. It's probably a DK weight. It's all autumnal colours actually. I quite like it. It's not quite the colour that I thought it was going to be, but then, as I say, it was only a couple of quid. Oh, there's a puka. It was only a couple of pounds, and oh, is she going to make it? There's things in the way, so she can't jump up. Hang on a tick. I'll move this. Here you go. There you go. I know what she wants. She just wants to watch this, right? Hey, leap. And I've got the other one. Crikey, it's turning into a cat podcast. The other cat is right there. So I'm just surrounded by cats, which is all good, isn't it? Anyway, back to the yarn, because that's why you're here. Not cat. It's not a cat podcast. It's a yarn podcast. Milk fibre yarn. Now, I did a bit of research on this, and apparently the milk fibre is made from the casein in yarn, in milk. So, I mean, there's a whole big process on how they do it, but I thought it'd be interesting to try. And you know what? It's actually quite nice yarn. It doesn't feel like anything else that I've ever come across. It doesn't feel like cotton, though I think it's probably got the same properties as cotton. So it's not a huge amount of stretch in it. But it's lovely and smooth. And yeah, I thought, you know what, I'll give it a go. I've got a friend that I bought this in mind for a gift. So yeah, milk yarn. And then to go back to my usual state of affairs in terms of yarn stash enhancement, it was my birthday back end of September, and my lovely husband asked me what I wanted, and I said, oh, well, I've been thinking I'd like to make some Christmas socks. I've never made Christmas socks. Oh, Puka, really? Yeah, apparently it's time for a bath. On video. Ace. So classy. Anywho, Stu asked me what I wanted for my birthday, and I said, oh, I'd quite like some Christmas sock yarn. Now, last year, West Yorkshire Spinners comes out with a Christmas self-striping sock yarn every year, and I really liked last year's one. It's called Candy Cane. So I thought, oh, well, I won't get it, because I was still fairly new at sock knitting at that point. And then I looked at this year's release and not that keen. I preferred last year's. Anyway, so I called my local yarn shop, which is called Yarn O'Clock, down in Mould, and asked whether she possibly had any from last year. And she did. So she put it aside for me, and Stu went and bought it. Here it is. It's called Candy Cane. It's a self-striping Candy Cane Christmas yarn, which is amazing. I cannot wait to get cracking on this. But I've got to be disciplined and get some of my gifts finished first. So that's really cool. Usual 75-25 wool and nylon mix. And to go with it, because I am enjoying the contrast heel and toe so much on my selfish knitting. So Stu also got me a matching red, which matches with the red in the Candy Cane. And this is called Cayenne Pepper. He also got me a matching green, which is called Chocolate Lime. I love these names. See, they all match. And because he wasn't sure which green I wanted, he also got me the lime green, which is called Sour Apple. All of which will go very nicely with the soft striping Candy Cane. So I was very, very lucky, and I'm just, oh, so excited. And I think because I usually when I knit myself socks, or knit, you know, average size socks, I only use about 50 grams. So, or maybe 60 grams. If I do contrasting heels and toe, I can probably get half a dozen pairs of socks out of this lot. Easily. With all different combinations of red and green. And anybody who knows me will be laughing at how much I love this, because I'm somewhat red-green colourblind. So I'm probably not seeing these quite the same way that you are. But I do love them. Because Christmas. So yeah, that's, look at that squidgy goodness. So squidgy. And of course, the really great thing about West Yorkshire Spinners yarn is it wears like iron. It's such a tough yarn. Lovely to knit with, but washes a breeze. It's all super wash and it just lasts forever. So yeah, that is my stash enhancement. So you can see, for somebody on a yarn buying ban, I've done quite well. I don't think it counts when it's for somebody else. Anyway, that is pretty much it. I think I'm going to go and sort my cats out, because there's, hang on. Come here. Come here, pig. Oh, he's a big lump of a cat. There you go. There you get both the cats. I don't think he's going to stay put. Oh yeah. Anyway, I'm going to finish up here before I devolve into a cat talking podcast. And I hope to see you again next month. If you enjoyed this episode, by all means, please subscribe. And if you click the little bell icon, then you'll get a little notification every time I upload. I hope you have a fantastic autumn, or, you know, spring if you're on the other side of the world. And I look forward to seeing you again in November. Bye.